You know, today we're going to dig into a word you've probably used 100 times. But what if I told you that this one word is so fundamental to English that it made a list of the 850 most essential words, and yet it's also secretly leading a double life? Yeah, let's uncover the two very different identities of the word wound.
It's a great question, right? I mean, think about it. One spelling, W-O-N-D. But depending on how you say it, it means something totally different. How is that even possible? Well, let's figure it out together.
Okay, so let's start with the first and probably the most common identity of this word. This is the wound that rhymes with moon. You know this one.
So when we use it as a noun, the meaning is, well, it's exactly what you'd expect. We're talking about a physical injury, a cut, a scrape, a burn, anything that hurts and leaves a mark on your body. Pretty straightforward.
And this example sentence really paints the perfect picture, doesn't it? You drop a knife on your foot, you get a physical injury, a wound. Thankfully, in this case, it wasn't too serious.
Okay, now here's where it gets a little more interesting. Using the exact same pronunciation, wound, we can actually turn it into an action. So it's not just the injury itself, but the act of causing that injury. And here you see it in action, literally. The blade is actively doing something. It's inflicting the very wound we just defined. So same spelling, same sound, but it can be both a thing and an action. All right, let's switch gears and look at its second identity, and this is where the word completely transforms. Get ready for a totally new sound. This time, it rhymes with sound.
And boom, here's the big twist. Pronounced wound, this word has absolutely nothing to do with getting hurt. Nothing at all. It's simply the past tense of the verb to wind, as in to twist or turn something.
This example just makes it crystal clear. He's wrapping or coiling the rope. He didn't injure the rope, he wrapped it. We are in a completely different universe of meaning now. So seeing them side by side like this is where it all clicks. On the left, you've got wound, the injury. On the right, you've got wound, the past tense of wind. Different sounds, different meanings. They even come from different root verbs. They are basically two different words that just happen to look exactly the same on paper.
So if they're two totally different words, is there any connection at all? And, why is one version of this word considered so important in the English language? The answer, it turns out, is pretty fascinating.
The key to this entire puzzle is right here on this slide. It turns out that wound, and we're talking about the injury here, is part of a very, very exclusive club.
And what is this list? Well, it's got the core building blocks of the language, the absolute essentials. And it's our first wound, the one pronounced wound, that made the cut. That means the concept of injury is considered absolutely crucial for anyone to communicate in English.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway from this deep dive into just one little word? It's actually a fantastic reminder of just how cool and complex language can be.
So what have we learned? Well, first, that a single spelling can hide totally different words. They have a name for that. It's homographs. Second, the idea of an injury, wound, is so fundamental it's on that basic English list. Third, its sound-alike twin, wound, is just the past tense of wind. And I think the biggest thing is that all of this proves that even the most basic words can have these incredibly complex and layered stories behind them.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. The language we use every single day is hiding all sorts of secrets. So, what other simple word have you stumbled upon that has a hidden depth, or maybe a secret second life? It's fun to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.